Hi there and welcome to this 50,000 subscribers special. From 50 subscribers to 50,000 subscribers in 4 weeks. This is so crazy and it still blows me away and I'm completely flashed, as I said in the previous video. And again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you so much for all your comments. And I really appreciate this. So my nephew told me with 50,000 subscribers you have to make a special. The audience wants a 50,000 subscriber special, so here is the special. And I thought I would just tape a little bit a Q&A because there have been so many questions in the comment section and it's hard for me to answer all of them, so it's easier to answer in this video. So let's start. I've got my little cheat sheet here underneath the camera. So one of the questions most of the people asked was, where do you live? And it was quite funny because some said somewhere in Australia or whatever. It's quite simple. It is in Germany, in the eastern part of Germany. It's very close to Berlin. It's something like 70-80 kilometers from Berlin, and it is, as you already see, it is in the middle of nowhere. Let me just show you the middle of nowhere. So here is the first house, and I hope I can change the camera. No, I can't anyway. So this is the area where I am, where I live. And another question, what's your name? So of course it is very rude not to introduce myself, so my name is André. It's a French name. I think my parents thought it would be very fancy to give this little boy a fancy French name. So I'm André from Germany. Another question many people asked. So do you have two houses? This was a question that some of you had because maybe it wasn't quite clear. Yes, there are two houses. Let me show you. I can just turn around. So this is house number 1. Over there is house number 2. And they are completely directly next to each other. And yes, this is how it is. Another question. For how long did it take to renovate the first house? Okay, this was the first house. And I bought it, I think, 8 years ago. And I started renovating, and the entire renovation took me, I think, something like 4 years. But to be correct, I just worked on the weekends. So because I have a daytime job as well, I worked here on the weekends and renovated the house. Another question many of you asked was, why a second house? Well, actually that's a very good question and it's not that easy to answer. The thing is, with the second house, when I came here it was already abandoned and it looked very chaotic. You've seen it in the first video. And it was so sad to see this, this house just in decay, and everything got more and more broken. And so I tried to find out who is the owner of this house, how to get this house, and it was very well, it wasn't that easy. So all of a sudden, and very surprising, the city administration told me that I could buy the house, that I could have it. And then of course I had a little problem because I didn't know what to do with the second house, to be honest. because I already have a house. But so the good thing is that I can take as much time as I need to renovate it, which was a little different with the first house, because with my first house, of course, I was a little bit in a hurry and I only had the chance to work on the weekend. It was a little bit chaotic and you always have to improvise. My bed was always moving from the living room to the bedroom and back and forth. So, but in this case it's quite easy because I have somewhere to stay, and on the other hand I can go on and work on the second house. So this is the story of the second house. Yes, I think you already saw the floor plans and my plans, what I'm doing with the house. This is the plan so far, but of course those plans can change at any time. Another question. Oh yes, many people told me, why don't you just tear it down? Or somebody else told me, if I was you, I would extend, I would put another floor on top and things like this. And all those ideas and comments are very nice, very helpful, and I really appreciate that. There is just one special thing here with this house. The entire settlement here, the entire community, is grandfathered. So all that I can do is renovate. I'm not allowed to extend or to rebuild or whatever, so I can only renovate the house. And this is what it is, because the entire settlement or this little mini village, well, obviously it is in a surrounding, in a nature protected surrounding, because nowadays you would never get permission to build so close to the lake here in Germany due to those restrictions that we have. So everything is grandfathered. I can't rebuild it. I would never get a permission for a rebuild. That's why the floor plan is what it is. And you always have to improvise a little bit like this, but that's okay for me. So, oh yes, another question. Are you a professional builder? No, definitely not. I'm not a professional. So everything that I do is, well, I learned it on YouTube or on the internet or whatever. Everything is learning by doing very much. I see most of my mistakes that I've made. Thank God most of the people in front of the computer or telly, they don't see my mistakes that I make. But anyway, so I still see my mistakes. And now I lost my little cheat sheet because it simply just fell down. Oops. Here we go. What's that thing with your trousers? Why do you wear those bib overalls? Well, that's a good question. Because I don't look that good in these trousers, but they are so comfy. I love them. I know that I look a little bit large and whatever, but I like those bib overalls. Somebody even told me, where can I buy it? It's quite funny that I'm already an influencer. So it's a German company. I don't know if you can buy it or if they ship overseas. I don't know. It's a German company. Oh, another question many of you ask, why no power tools on a Sunday? Is this a religious thing or whatever? No, it's not a religious thing. It is a law here in Germany. In residential areas you are not allowed to use power tools on the Sunday. This is for everybody to live in a nice and calm environment. And I think as well you are not allowed to use power tools between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. I think. So during the week, in the nighttime, you're as well not allowed to use power tools. But of course you can get a special permission if there is something happening and whatever. But usually it's not allowed to use power tools. So it's not a religious thing, it is for protecting the people against noise. The floor plan. Oh yes, the floor plan of the second house. This is, as I said, my first initial idea. There might be changes in the end. This is of course due to the fact that I already have 2 houses, and what to do with the second house. The second house, the idea is to prepare everything so that it is ready for somebody to live in. It should have a kitchen, it should of course have a bathroom and a bedroom and a living room. And just as I said, I enjoy the way of building, and in this time I will use it as a guest bedroom as soon as the bedroom is ready and as soon as the second bathroom is ready. So I can use it for guests. Maybe I can use the living room during the time when it's not ready as a workshop. Of course, I would like to prepare everything for the kitchen, but as long as there is no kitchen, I will use it as a workshop, I think. So this is the idea. It's all in the making. Another question on my list. Oh yes, is there no insulation? Why don't you add insulation? I will. So as I said in the previous video, I will add a second layer or a second wall all around the house. And another plan is as well to add new windows, new isolated windows. There are already isolated windows, so double glazed windows in this building, but they are quite old. The entire building is from 1988, so 32 years now. And of course, it's not as energy efficient as it should be today. So I will add a second wall or coat or whatever all around the house, and I will insulate this. And then there will be insulation as well. Another question many of you ask, asbestos. What about asbestos when this house is from the 80s? It used to be a very big topic, so because those houses like 35, 36 years ago, they had a lot of asbestos, but then they changed the way of producing it. And as I said in one of the previous parts, it is a flat pack house. So right now it is completely made out of wood, and the roof is a zinc or iron roof. I think it's called zinc roof. So it's not asbestos. There is no asbestos in this house, and I've made a test as well, so you can do those mail order tests with asbestos. So it is completely asbestos free. Anything else? Oh yes, the neighbors. Some of you said it's so funny that all your neighbors are always coming and visiting. It is actually, so I really enjoy it. As you can see here behind me, we live very close. So this used to be a holiday resort or a weekend resort. In those years, in those GDR years, this was 32 years or 31 years ago, and it's been built as a holiday resort. So that's why the properties are very close to each other and very small. But that's also very nice. So what I wanted to say, yes, the neighbors. The neighbors are very nice, very friendly. So it's a very friendly atmosphere. We visit each other. We have a barbecue together, and that's why all the neighbors always come visiting and watching as well, because it's always interesting. It's better than telly or whatever, and I really enjoy it. The brick wall in the new house. Should I paint it? Should I whatever? Many of you had the idea to paint it, and to be honest, I don't like the idea of painting the wall, because once you've painted it, well, you always have to paint it. It will never be the same again. And somebody gave me the idea of whitewashing this wall, and I think this is an idea I would like to follow, but let's see. I don't know yet. Yeah, maybe I could do something like like a little survey or whatever, and you can decide what to do with the wall. I don't know yet. Any more question? Oh yes, another thing. Why can't we see your kitchen? Why can't we see your bedroom? And I said I'm gonna promise you you will see the kitchen, and maybe we do it now. You will see the kitchen now. So, this is my kitchen. It's nice and small, but has everything I need. A stove, a fridge and a sink. And an apple tree right in front of the window. See you all this Sunday when it's concrete time. And when we go up in the air. So, see you then.